For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Socials and family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 21 video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over the best free 50 player you need to be selecting with your free 50 fantasy pack, which is coming out in just a couple of days. Now this is an incredibly important selection because this player is a cornerstone card of your team and is likely going to be the best player you've got on your whole Madden Ultimate team. We're literally going to be able to pick a card which is going for over 500,000 coins right now, so it's important that you guys choose wisely and follow this list to ensure you're finding a card that is going to fit your scheme and give you a ton of value. Now if you guys are wondering how to earn this pack, I'll leave a video linked in the description which showcases the exact steps you need to follow to earn this pack and be able to select one of these new 50 players. But what we're going to do in the video today is rank my top 5 selections. I'm really curious to hear who you guys are picking, so comment in the comment section the player you're going to choose and I'll rank your selection from 1 to 10. But let's hop into my number 5 ranked player on this list. Now at the 5 spot we've got 94 overall Aaron Rodgers, and what makes this card so good or kind of different than really any other QB in MUT is the fact that Aaron Rodgers, as well as I believe only a couple other QBs in the entire game, have their own throwing motion, and this Aaron Rodgers throwing motion is different than the rest. It is a much faster release than any other QB in MUT, which is huge when your opponent's pressure is bearing down on you or you've got a wide receiver open in a tight little pocket over the middle of the field. It's really crucial that you can get the ball there as quickly as possible. Gunslinger's going to help with that a bit, but this throwing motion is actually noticeably quicker, and that's really helpful when it comes to having a QB. Now other than that, he does have really nice stats. They're not as good as some of the other players we'll look at later today, but 94 throw power, 78 speed is a little bit slow. The accuracies are all nice. Obviously Aaron Rodgers is a magician with his arm, throw under pressure, throw on the run. That's all super good. This is a pretty good card. The best thing about him is obviously that throwing motion that I referenced earlier. So if you're looking for a QB and you want someone to just stand in the pocket with more, Aaron Rodgers is going to be great at that. He's going to get Gunslinger for I believe 2 AP, so pretty solid. But let's move on to card number 4 on the list. At the 4 spot is 95 overall Sean Taylor, one of my favorite cards in Madden every year, and he has some pretty juice stats. 93 speed, 93 acceleration is really sick for a safety in this game. Hit power, zone coverage, the height, it's all really good on this card. He's going to be great as a user. He's really good as someone who can just play by himself in run D, in coverage. The man isn't great, so if you guys like to man up your safeties, obviously that's not ideal, but he's just a really balanced alternative. I would say that the cards at the number 3 and the number 2 spot, as well as number 1 obviously, are a little bit better than this player, but if you're looking for a safety, this is 100% the best safety that you can go with. He's gonna have a ton of value because he's also likely to get a new card in the future. I would assume Sean will probably get like a 98 overall card a little bit down the line, so if you power him up to his 95 overall version, you throw in this Nat player because you just got him for free, he's likely gonna get an upgrade later, so you can also have a little bit of long-term value with the card. But as a card right now in MUT, he's gonna be really good for you with those stats. Okay, now I'm recording this video before we know the new players that are coming out in the final week of the 50 program, but to be honest, I'm not really expecting any of the cards to be better than these top 3 players. They maybe could slot in at the 4 or at the 5 spot. Obviously if we get a better safety or a better QB than one of those 2 players that I've got there, they could move into one of those positions. But where it starts to get really heated when it comes to debating the top 3 is between Michael Vick, Dion Sanders, and Randy Moss. Now I have Michael Vick at the 3 spot. I was actually considering moving him up to the 2. I would say him and the number 2 player are in a really close debate. Michael Vick right here has pretty crazy stats. The speed, the throw power, it is incredible. Incredible throw power, incredible speed. The accuracies are all fine. He's not going to miss any passes. He's got pretty good stats across the board otherwise, and this is just a super sick card. Now Michael Vick, the only reason why I don't have him higher than this is because he's a scrambler archetype. In my opinion, I believe that the archetype that allows you to get Hot Route Master and Gunslinger is better than Gunslinger and Escape Artist, because this QB is going to get you Gunslinger, this QB is going to get you Escape Artist, but I think the meta down the line is going to be Gunslinger and Hot Route Master. Now the difference between those two is Michael Vick's obviously more of a scrambler. He's going to be able to run around behind the line and get some really good gains with his legs, but if you get someone that has that Hot Route Master ability, then you can put any hot routes on the field anywhere, which I think is going to be huge in this game. You can cook up some really good route combinations. Not to say this Michael Vick card isn't good, because this is a crazy good card. I just don't know if he's going to be a meta card down the line, and I don't know if he's an endgame QB because of that. I don't think he's going going to fit the meta as the game continues to progress, although I do think the card is sick. I mean, 95 speed, it's crazy at quarterback. That's faster than Tyreek Hill. Tyreek has 94, so this card, don't get me wrong, is awesome. I was considering moving up to the 2 spot after I actually watched some gameplays on him and saw how well he performed. A gunslinger and escape artist makes this card pretty awesome, so you definitely won't be faulted if you pick Michael Vick. I don't think you can be faulted for picking any of these top 3, to be honest with you. Now at the 2 spot, we have Randy Moss. You guys know who we've got at number 1, but let's go over my reasoning for why I think Randy Moss is at the 2. Obviously, if you really need a certain position on this list, then that trumps my rankings. If you really need a quarterback, then you should probably go with Vick over these other 2 options. But Randy Moss right here is a pretty crazy card. He's gonna have 95 speed to go along with 95 excel, 95 deep route running. The short and the medium are pretty good. They're obviously not as good as you'd like to see, but the catching traffic, and spec catch are awesome. He's 6'4", an absolute monster out there with great route running and great speed. The card is just sick. He's a cyborg at wide receiver, and the only reason why I've got him at the 2 and I don't have him at the 1 is because I feel like there's other receivers that can get close to matching this speed. Calvin Ridley can get close, Tyreek Hill can get close, and those 2 cards you can pick up and add to your team, whereas Michael Vick, even, there's no quarterback in the game like him right now. That's why I was considering moving him up to the 2, and obviously Dion, there is no corner in the game like him. We'll get into his stats in just a second because, boys, they are insane. But Randy Moss at the 2, I think is a fair spot for him. I don't think he's the best player in the drop, but I do think he is better than Vick. I think he's going to dominate on the field a little bit better for you, and I think he's a bit more of a meta card. Like we said with Vick, I think the meta has already kind of been shifted away from scramblers to pocket passers, so that's why we have the rankings how they are. Randy Moss at the 2, obviously a great option. I can't fault anyone for selecting Randy, because he's pretty crazy looking at the stats. Now, you guys guessed it, at the 1 spot, we have prime, 96 overall, Dion Sanders, and this right here is an endgame card. 96 speed, 96 acceleration, those are both going to go up to a 99 when you add this card to the power up. It is expensive to power him up. It's not as expensive as Randy Moss actually, but that's going to go up to a 99 without any theme team. Man goes up to a 99 easily, play rec can get almost to a 99, agility will get to a 99, zone coverage gets close to a 99. This is an end game card. If you pick this corner, he can literally stay at your cornerback 1 position for all of Madden, which is crazy to say. We're still in December and we have an end game corner in the game. This card is just too good to pass up on, to be honest with you. I can't fault you for taking Randy Moss, I can't fault you for taking Michael Vick, but this card just seems like the number 1 option, and to me, I don't think it was very close. When I originally looked at these stats, this card was just crazy. He jumped off the page with the speed and acceleration. I was surprised they gave him such high coverage stats. I'm honestly curious to see how well this card plays. I haven't really seen enough gameplays on him, and I haven't really seen enough people throw at this card or played against him enough yet to really know how good he is, but from a couple of things I've heard this card is awesome. People have been running some of the glitchiest man coverage routes to try and beat him, and he'll literally stay in coverage with people on some of the glitchiest man beaters in the game. So this is definitely the number 1 option. Just to recap, we're really just going to go over the top 3 right here. I don't think you should really go with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Sean Taylor would be a solid pick, but we had Michael Vick at the 3. If you really need a QB, go with him, and obviously if you really need a wide receiver, go with Moss, and then we had Dion at the number 1 spot. I'm curious to hear who you guys are picking, so leave that in the comment section. If it's not one of the top 4 cards, I'll be disappointed in you, but I'm curious to hear who you guys are picking. Leave that in the comment section. It'll get a ranking 1 to 10 from me, and that's gonna do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.